Hello and welcome to this training. I'm really excited to share with you some very important facts and some important information with you, which can really transform not just your business, but also your life. And that's really my aim, to be able to help leaders to have the freedom of time as well as business growth in their lives. So before I begin, I would really request you, if you could just put aside all kinds of distractions that you may have. And maybe you want to get a paper and a pen, some water to drink, just to relax a little bit with me and listen. And maybe you want to make some notes, while we go along, right? So I will just give you a few minutes if you can get those things together. In the meantime, I'm going to look for sharing my screen with you. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting ready. I hope you are too. Okay. So, double your team performance while working half the time. How leaders are easily able to double their team performance, increase their profits, end their burnout, and finally get back the time that they really need. This is something I know because I've been working with loads of leaders in the last so many years, and I've found that the time is the most expensive factor in everybody's life today, right? Especially top leaders. And all this without pushing your teams or paying them more. I mean, what more could you ask for, isn't it? So let's begin. Yeah. So who is this for? So this is essentially for any high achieving leader who is in corporates, who's an entrepreneur, who could be a CXO, a CEO, a high-end executive, like the CFOs or head of sales or marketing or client servicing, operations, or even consultants. Yeah. Now, it's also for anyone who's looking for any of these three areas. So the first would be if you're looking to utilize your leadership potential, yeah, quite like our client Rajat Pendarkar, who is from India. He's a deputy general manager technology, and he was already successful as a team manager when he came to us, but he needed to develop his leadership skills to actually lead the team. He was struggling to create the next line of leadership and get more time for growing in his career. Today, he has a big smile on his face while he works with his team, working independently of him, transforming him to become the kind of a person that he really wanted to be. Or else, if you want to, just increase your team performance, maybe your team is not performing the way you would want them to, or the kind of goals that you have for the organization, that you want them to deliver. Quite like Joaquin Malera, our chief operations officer, the one who came to us, 1 year back, and he came to us overwhelmed as he was taking over a new role as a leader for the first time, and he wasn't able to really create boundaries with work and life. Currently, after going through our program, he has a high-performing team and also experiences freedom of time while he's able to pursue his personal goals, live his life with his family, with his friends, enjoy his good health. He loves to go to gym. So he wasn't getting time to do that. But today he's able to do all that. Or else, the third could be that you're just looking for a balance in your life, work and life balance. Quite like Zarish Shroff, who is a travel business owner. He lives in UK. And he came to us when he said that, he was struggling to find time to keep up his fitness regime while expanding his travel business. He has a global business and that was expanding. And that's a time when he was struggling to really be fit. He's been into fitness for many, many years. And that is when we worked with him and we found a way that he could actually fit his exercise routine while he was able to take his business to the next level of transformation. So if you're looking for any of these three, you can definitely, look at this training today that we have with you. So if you are looking for utilizing your leadership potential or creating a high-performing team or simply work-life balance, any of these three, this training is for you. So how to double your team performance while working half the time and start enjoying work-life balance all within 90 days. Even if you think you don't have the best team and can't change them, like, without really quitting your current role or getting a new team in place. Or even if you've tried many leadership courses and programs, workshops, read loads of books, on leadership development, on how to become the best leader without real success, like, on ground success. Maybe you tried yoga, you tried meditation, you try to really get your mind off work, focus on life, but still things haven't worked for you. Even if you believe you don't have the power to change the team dynamics and you are at a breaking point, even if you believe being professionally successful comes with personal sacrifices. So, how to get back at least 5 to 6 hours each week for yourself? Wake up each morning to see the team members scaling up and you moving closer to your business goals. Learning how to have a high performing team that can work on an auto mode while you work 40 hours or even less per week. Ending the feeling that you're on a stationary cycle, paddling hard and reaching nowhere. So stress and anxiety are a thing of the past. Switching off your work mode when at home, socializing or busy or pursuing your personal goals, like you just, want to pursue your hobbies. So you can actually enjoy life and not regret the way you lived. So who am I? Just a quick introduction about me. So I'm the founder and CEO of Empower, an executive life and leadership coaching company. I'm also a master coach trainer and client partner for Academy for Coaches UK. In my 13 years of working with corporates, I have been in leadership and team management experiential positions with Fortune 500 and 100 companies called Microsoft, CAPN, Lakshmi Services, called Concentrix today, Times of India, etc. In the last 17 years, I have had my own training, coaching, and consulting business where I have coached over 1,500 plus managers, C-level executives, business owners to utilize their leadership potential and also live a balanced life at the same time. In my programs, I have undergone about 15 years of research in leadership development, organization psychology, team performance and motivation, neuroscience, positive psychology, mindfulness, well-being, and holistic living. I'm also the creator and founder of Become the Leader Your Team Can Die For program, where our clients finally start leading their teams to high performance while working half the time and without sacrificing their family or personal time, and achieving massive success as leaders. Some of our clients, just to share with you a few. So Sandeep was a leader in a B2B startup and was struggling with no time with him at the end of the day to spend with his spouse, family, and loved ones or pursue important projects in life. Being an HR head, he had many things at the same time which he had to do, and there was anxiety issues because of that. He was almost at a breaking point when he came to us. But he immediately found a way to create a balance in his life and work with our tools, and he became much at peace with himself and connected with his spouse and family. He has now also moved on to a new organization where he is managing a larger role while living a life he always dreamt of. Another client of ours, Arjut Arora, who is the manager and finance and accounts in a consulting company. She was there with this company right from the inception of the company. And when she came to us, she was highly stressed as a leader, who was finding it difficult to manage expectations from her boss and getting her teams to do the tasks that they were given on time, all together at both things at the same time. She was really on nerves. She was quite overwhelmed, especially when things don't go the way she wanted. She was quite a perfectionist. She always wanted to do great at her work. And she was, because of that, working almost 60 hours per week. This was also creating a barrier for her growth in the company, as well as unhappiness within her. She was constantly trying her best to control her anger and anxiety with her team and her boss, but really it wasn't helping. She reached a point where she was being asked to work on it, else it would be difficult for her to get promoted. So while she worked on our 3-step process, which I'm going to share with you today, she reclaimed her confidence, faith, and peace in herself as a leader, while gaining respect not only from her team, but also her boss. She's been also accolades by the management now for managing herself very well while getting her team to deliver optimum outcomes required, wherein she works less than 50 hours a week and enjoys the rest of the time with her pets, cooking, and also meeting her fitness goals. As you can see, she's running a marathon now. Right. So Some of our clients, and here is Ashish Babare. He is the head of quality assurance. He works for an organization where he heads the quality function. He was very stressed when he came to us as he wasn't able to focus on his health and family, and there was no time left for him at the end of the day. He'd been trying all possible permutations and combinations to get that extra time he so badly wanted, and came to a point where he started developing an imposter syndrome. And he was just not sure if he'd ever be able to get a fit body and spend quality time with his family ever. For him, it was very important to be fit because he had had some health challenges in the past. Ashish joined our Become the Leader Your Team Can Die For program and immediately started making more time and setting boundaries. Using what we teach here, he now knows how to manage his time for work and life and is no longer bogged down by stress or fear of losing out on living this way. He not only received appreciation on his work results as a leader, since he was no longer stressed, but also took an 8-day road trip for the first time, a long time dream that he had. And this is really a picture from his trip en route. So he sent this to us. So this is just a few stories I wanted to share with you. So what do all these leaders and what, business owners have in common? Now, all leaders really, what do they want? They want basically profits, freedom, and balance. We need to have all three, else you will not be happy as a leader. And if you don't have all three, you'll feel burnt out, dissatisfied, and unhappy. You will also continue the burnout process. So, the 4 shifts that we would like you to take note of. First is that your team isn't the problem. Second is you need to step into your own potential. We have still not utilized your potential. You haven't utilized your potential. Using conscious leadership approach, I'll share with you about this down the road. And then start working with a coach or a mentor. So the 4 shifts that you should consider are these. So let's move into the first one. So your team isn't the problem. Now, one of the things you must understand is that your team is really not the problem. What you've been thinking so far, that my team is not performing because there is an issue. My team members are not right. The hiring is not being done right. Or, they just don't know how to do it, really. Yeah. Now, team performance is actually a symptom of the real hidden problem. I repeat, the team performance is actually a symptom of the real hidden problem. Teams tend to reflect similar behaviors and traits that lead them to low performance when the leaders approach them in an unsustainable manner. So what it really means is that we as leaders probably need to look at what are the behaviors and traits that we are displaying in front of our teams. And this is something is universal truth wherever you go, whichever industry you find yourself in, or whichever position you're in. Understanding your own contribution as a leader to your team performance is the fastest way to get to the root of your team challenges and make changes for good. So you could be, a leader who has been a task manager, somebody who always knew that, okay, if I have this job, I need to get this done, right? And you've been probably good at it. Or you have been a perfectionist. You've always done it very well, quite like Anjun, if you looked at it, right? Or you overdo things, because of the fact that you want to do everything correct, you probably overdo many tasks, or you ensure that things are done beyond what is expected. You could also be a value creator. You could be somebody who has been trying to create more value in the organization, in your teams. You are also probably a person who is focused on your job role, right? If this is my duty, I need to do this. Yeah? Or you could have been focusing a lot on your relationships with your team members. Now, in the past, probably these traits have actually led to your success, right? But these are also the primary reasons why your teams are not performing. And that is really the point I'm trying to draw here. So your greatest strengths can actually become your greatest weaknesses when they are overused. So if the old way isn't working anymore, now what? You've been successful as a leader so far, but has gotten you till here. It may not get you where you want to go next. You're a leader, but you don't feel like one anymore. Maybe you feel anxious, spiraling, consumed with worry, dreaming of another label, but don't know how you will go about it, with the current team and its performance, achieving your team goals without burning yourself out. But what if there was a way to step up your leadership level without having to work like crazy and changing your team? The way to do that is by claiming control of your leadership and stepping into your potential. See, the old way is letting life happen to you, where you feel completely responsible for your team performance and the results, and they get, whatever the work they're doing, plus working 12 hours per day, firefighting constantly without having any time to do any strategic work for the business or for your own rejuvenating to deliver better. Even like if the janitor doesn't arrive, to sales team not being able to beat the numbers, the customer feedbacks, just about anything that goes wrong, you are responsible for that. If this is probably one of the places you're feeling. Or maybe you're just feeling extremely lonely because you can't share everything with your team or with your peers because you feel, I can't just share with them, I'm the boss. And you feel, you have a feeling of being disconnected, or you feel like people don't respect me anymore. Right? So I can be only a leader. I cannot be a friend. I have to keep the commander-in-chief attitude all the time. Sometimes you start doubting yourself. Do you really know do I really know what I'm doing? Or is it just my hustle? You never know whether you're doing well or not. Are you making the right decisions or not? You're just relying on your hunches, maybe. You don't know how to feel more confident. You also don't have enough time. You don't have enough time to say, okay, what am I really doing every day? Every day is a struggle, basically, between your team, what they need, what you want to do. Some days you just, work according to your team. And some days you just feel like, what do I do? Can I ever do something that I want to do? And then you just close the door and say, okay, this is it. I want to get this done. It's a delicate balance. But you always feel that, I'm not able to really do every day what I want to do. You have to guide the rest of the company. But you also know that if you spend too much time in guiding the company, you won't get to do what you want to do. So the new way is taking control of your life. The first step is to discover your leadership equation. Second is to build deeper connects with your team. And third is to create a second line of leadership. Imagine being able to have the freedom and independence from your team without feeling guilty about it, when you have the time to do what matters most in your business and your life. Getting 5 to 10 hours or more per week, being able to build deeper connects with your teams and create that confidence where they will have your back whenever you need. And you can also be having their back. Also, have them manage things with ease, even when you're not around. Finally, have self-belief that you can actually make all the decisions and you will be right. Yeah. So stepping into your potential and deciding that you have the power to double your team's performance, even in your absence, is the fastest way to higher business profits in time. If your business is dependent on your time, your business is not growing as fast as it should. Yeah. So the old way basically tells you, when we talk about conscious leadership approach, the old way tells you, I'm the boss. I will tell you what needs to be done. You better listen to me. I will decide the strategies. I will tell you where we need to go. I am in charge. If something is positive, I take the accolades for that. I'm the wise man in the group. I will tell you where you're going wrong. But at the same time, you also feel lonely. Sometimes you feel anxious. Sometimes you feel, oh my God, I should just do some yoga, or maybe just take a trip abroad or somewhere, or take the next degree that comes your way to develop your leadership. Or maybe the easiest option, look at the next bestseller in leadership and go for that book. Or if none of this really works, maybe start looking for a job and quit before you even get one. Does that happen to any of you? Well, I have met many leaders who've gone through the same cycle many times. As per Gallup research on employee engagement, currently 36% of US employees are engaged in their work and workplace. Globally, only 20% employees are engaged. And in 2020 to 2021, the number went up 1%, from 14% to 15% in terms of disengaged employees. This is around the COVID time. And amongst these actively disengaged employees, 74% are looking for new jobs. This figure is really alarming. And what does it tell us? Think about, how have you been in a job where you were not feeling engaged? Have you ever been in such a job? How engaged did you feel in your current job? Or do you feel currently in your current job on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being not engaged at all, 10 being very engaged. How does this engagement impact your work? Let's take a minute and think about this. Okay. So people join organizations but leave their boss. Yeah, this is something we all know. And the number one reason employees leave is actually their direct manager. It's not the organization. So what do we know about what people want in a leader? They want trust, compassion, empathy, accountability, transparency, integrity, loyalty, egalitarianism, fairness, personal growth, love and care, decentralization, empowerment, collaboration. This is what an employee desires in a leader. Question is, are we able to give them what they want? What if you had satisfied, engaged employees with above average employee satisfaction scores? Such organizations have 38% higher customer satisfaction scores, 22% higher productivity, and 27% higher profits. And isn't that what every organization really wants? So coming back to using conscious leadership approach, the new way is to become the leader your team can die for. Now, you don't have to become a dictator or be self-centric or push your people to perform, become lonely, sacrifice your promotion, quit your job, or go for the next big degree, read a book, do yoga, travel. It's really not recommended. Just to find out the solution to increase your business results by living a life of peace and happiness? Not really. Because, you see, what you're looking at is just not competency, because that's just half the game. Competency alone does not make for effective leadership. Yet the current focus for developing leadership effectiveness is primarily on improving competency, which is necessary but insufficient. Leadership really requires wisdom, self-knowledge, character development at psychological and spiritual levels. And mastery of leadership requires that we work at these depths and develop mature and conscious awareness. If you change the way you look at things, the way the things look change. So also, we as human beings, we are all spiritual beings. So when we say become spiritually inclined, it's not really a new thing for us. That's who we are. Right? So conscious leadership is actually inbuilt with us. We just need to be a little more aware of it. Also, it is inside out, an inside out approach, right? And if you realize, circumstances really do not make who we are. It reveals us to ourselves. We do not attract that which we want, but that which we are. So when we say our team is not performing, we need to start looking within. Why is my team not performing? What is it that I can bring as a change within me first, before I expect them to change? Because your teams are looking at you and they're going to duplicate you. It's a very well-known saying called monkey see, monkey do. That's exactly what they're doing. And imagination is more important than knowledge. So what we believe they would want to see is what we should make them see in us as leaders, right? So the 3 steps are be, do, and have. Now, usually when we start coaching leaders say, we want this result, we want to have this result. So what should we do? And that's the flow which usually they think. But in real transformation that if you want to really bring in your leadership, the cycle is just the opposite. So it should be the foundation that we need to transform, which will result in the actions, your tasks. And then those actions will give you the results that you want to have. So it's be, do, and have, not have, do, and be. Yeah. This means that you can stop band-aiding your leadership worries and anxiety and replace it with this lasting solution. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Viktor Frankl said this in his experience with Nazi concentration camp. A very well-known psychotherapist and an author. So, now, deep transformation coaching, which is what we have in our program, we are basically looking at holistic development, which starts from your core values, your identities, your personal values, your belief systems, your thought processes, your thinking patterns, which are forming your habits, which finally result in the actions that you take on a daily basis. Holistic development is basically by focusing on the surface area of the iceberg and building competencies by creating self-awareness. So we are focusing on the deeper side of the iceberg, not on the actions here. Actions will come anyways if this is transformed. Yeah. So this process is the backbone of our successful evidence-based approach used by thousands of successful leaders across the globe. Now, as simple as it may sound, there are hundreds of ways that you can mess it up. So we would suggest you to invest in coaching and mentoring. All big leaders invest in coaching and mentoring, whether it is Bill Gates or it is the Ambanis in India or Tatas or any big leader across the world, or even Sachin Tendulkar or any big personality that you know, they always invest in coaching and mentoring. So why try to figure it out on your own when someone can actually simply hand you over the answers? My team and I have helped clients from different industries. So whatever industry you're from, probably we've worked with them, including hospitality, travel, manufacturing, IT services, BPOs, e-commerce, consulting, lawyers, and even edtech companies, many more, with people who are senior management, senior executives, business owners, CEOs, CXOs, CFOs, partners, founders, co-founders, etc. We specialize in giving leaders their freedom to reach their business potential while working half the time. So don't waste your time trying to figure out everything on your own. Take the fastest path to your freedom. My team has set aside some time in the next 24 to 48 hours to speak to you personally about how to apply these ideas in your leadership role starting today. So on the free 45 minutes call you will receive, we will give you a personalized assessment of your underlying patterns contributing to your leadership challenges. We'll also clarify around exactly what your team performance can look like without burning your time, and also the exact steps you can start taking right now to double your team performance while working half the time. Our goal on this call is to give you complete clarity about the patterns leading to low team performance and exact steps to become a successful leader. This is for you if you are a highly ambitious and high-achieving leader, you feel exhausted, overworked, overwhelmed, and burnt out, or on the verge of burnout as your teams are not performing, and you end up pushing them all the time, finding ways to motivate them and solve intra-team problems, challenges. And you don't have the time to do what is most important for your business or life, and your work-life balance is a concern. So here is where you can book your spot. Our booking page might looks like this. There are a few spots only that we're opening up in the next week. And as this is a complimentary session, we would like to keep it restricted. So if you're really interested, then book the slot. We also have a small questionnaire. We will be screening who would be applying for this. So, but do apply for it if you're really interested to take yourself and your business forward while being able to double your team performance and also be able to have that time that you really want. So, quickly, I want you to just have a look as to what some of our clients are telling us about uh, how they felt while working with us in their program. So here we are.
And I must say that you keep on doing business every day. You're the leader. Yes, through your applying your main strategies and on and off and trying everything and everything. But if you go to see, every person has a blind spot, in life. There are too many blind spots to be opened up. So I take it as, why did I need Sindhuja's training was, or anybody else's training, and I chose Sindhuja, was that when you are walking on a road, say it's dark, you're walking because you know where you're to reach. That destination is there in the mind. But when the street light gets switched on, you get that right path and the directions and to where to ditch the ditches. At a certain stage in business, when you're doing business, you need that turnout to be there. You need that turnover to catch up, because you are different, and actually you are different. When people come and tell us, that made us aware of ki ab badhna chahiye, boss. Now this is not done. I mean, the conversion rate has to go higher, and that is the time when I, I have coaches, and I've been the CEO, project head. I had a certain responsibility on my head to basically, convert more so that the turnover, gets to a substantial stage, and you have so many things running in mind. And that is the time when I came across Sindhuja, and this training has really shaped me in a very solid manner. And so I was talking about the blind spots, So there are certain blind spots in a person's life, and everybody faces that. So to awaken that blind spot, you need a coach, and that's what Sindhuja has done with me. It's not that a coach tips you for do this, do that, but the right kind of a coach is who awakens that real thought which is lying maybe in the subconscious mind somewhere, needs to be brought up and applied in a business. And that's what Sindhuja's training has done. Is what the blind spot opening does to you. वो जब कोई कोच आपको बताता है, he talks to you, he just talks to you, does nothing. But the only thing is, he knows what to talk and where to tap, so that that blind spot opens, which you don't know, which you're not aware. रोज के कोर रूटीन्स में और कोर एक्टिविटीज में आप पूरा दिन आप निकाल देते हो, हाँ ठीक है मैं ये करता हूँ, मैं ये करता हूँ, बट वो जो रियल थॉट नीचे पड़ा हुआ है, वो ऊपर आने के लिए द कोच हेल्प्स. Certain strategies which you plan as a leader, which go into that silent mode in the book itself, where you write, or maybe the notepad on the iPad or the phone, where you keep a note of it. But sometimes you're not able to implement them at the time when it's there. You know, certain maybe certain issues, or maybe certain geographic scenarios, political scenarios, you're not able to implement that. So those ideas also came up in this training, that when the coach was trying to tell me that do this, I told the coach that yes, I had thought about it but never implemented. Let's see if we can implement this. And that's what opens the horizon, of the ideas which you have kept locked in your mind. So these are the blind spots which I was talking. See, as I told you that I've been a seeker always, and I've had virtual trainers like many of them, Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins, and a lot of them. So I keep learning from them. I keep listening to the lectures. But when it comes to you doing practical things in business, you need a guiding light. You are applying your mind at a certain level and a pace,
Correct.
you know but the human mind is filled up with so many ideas, so many creative inputs, and the innovation and the innovative mind, which keeps working, and due to certain reasons we keep them suppressed. And coach is someone who gets them, as the same term which we're using again and again, awakens in you.
Yeah, yeah.
And these are the blind spots which open when you're lying down somewhere deep down. You're not either you're fearful, or either you're not getting the proper time to implement them, or you have certain कि ये हुआ तो कैसा होगा, ये नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा. But the biggest risk in life is not taking one. So वो risk तो आपको लेनी चाहिए, and that is what the coach awakens in you. So that's what I think, and I recommend that everyone who is of the leader bent, and is wanting to progress in life, and not for the leader also, whoever in life wants to grow, has to have a coach. तो आपको सच बोलना है, you to be true to yourself, and be very open and a coachable person. You should not have that ego kind of a thing in mind कि अच्छा मैं तो कंपनी का सीईओ हूँ, I know everything, ये क्या बताएगी मुझे, you know वो अप्रोच रख के आप करेंगे तो disaster is on the way. But otherwise, if you're very open, and the best part about Sindhuja is she's a very good listener. She'll listen to you, and then uh, she'll not tell you to go right or left or whatever. She'll basically guide you to be on the right path, and then take your decisions, whatever's the outcome. No problem at all. But that's what leadership is all about. I mean, make a decision and then make the decision right as later.
My name is Ashish Bovde. I am working as a head of quality assurance in one of the multinational companies. I am recording this video for my coach, Sindhuja Rai. Yeah. So even being at such a senior position, many times I feel overwhelmed. Many times I feel stuck and not able to find certain answers. So recently I had a coaching session with Sindhuja Rai, and it was a really a different experience. Before this, actually, I have never experienced coaching. I was knowing about training, mentoring, and that is something actually I have always tried. But coaching is something actually I have tried for first time. So I was stuck with certain situation, and I was not able to find out answer for that. And that's the topic actually on which she coached me. And let me share you my experience actually. She's very supportive. She gave me a safe space to share what I think, and she actually became a catalyst f- who actually invoked my thought process, and that helped me come up with my own solution. So that was a completely different experience, and I 100% recommend actually to work with Sindhu Jarai. So if you are executive professional or a leader and feeling overwhelmed, stuck, and not able to find solution or not able to see the way ahead, I'll definitely recommend you actually to book a call with Sindhuja. So even one conversation helped me so much that I am recording this feedback for her actually, and definitely going ahead, I'll be continuing actually for more sessions with her. So go ahead and book a call with Sindhuja. Thank you very much.
before we started into this program, so at that time we were like just like a manager level. So we were managing all things and all tasks and all requirements within our team as well. We were sharing all this requirement with the team, and then we didn't have any idea about what being a leader is for. What is leadership and all those concepts? We didn't have any understanding. How to lead a team of people? Yes, managing it was there. We were managing well. So course material was very helpful because the topics we had were very complicated, right? So each topic was very complicated for layman to understand. It was not a simple one, but our coach was so much friendly and so much approachable and always giving hand to us to understand those topics. So uh, it helped us allow to learn those principles and values. And the next part was putting into practice because that was the toughest part because we have whatever we have theorized that need to be started from day one to put into practice. And the coach helped us to find out how to adopt it in life. So that was the thing, and it was very fun kind of these topics, all these things, which really helped us out. And eventually, we are looking forward for another session with Sindhuja madam because the journey continues. It's not a end of the journey; it will continue since it has started and it has allowed to reach us to new level of heights in our career, in our life, and of course, there was also a section about personality building. Right? Where we get to know about our personality as well, our team's personality, and our peers' personality. All those kind of uh, analytical scores were there, which help to find out about these personalities. Because different person has different kind of personality, and how to deal with them is very important to learn about those aspects as well, right? So now, so earlier myself, I will score out of 10 as a factor of 3. So I was having certain knowledge about these principles and values, but didn't add any much light on that. So 3 I can give the score. But after learning those principles, values, goals, areas, team building, leadership qualities, so now I can say that I can stand at somewhere around 8 of score rating, right? So it has made me capable because I have now knowledge about these concepts and also adapting into the life. So I can score 8. Yes, certain kinds of gap is also there where I find I need to push more effort into it and put my whole heart and mind into it as well. So to reach to up to 10 score of 10. Yeah. So the most important thing is that the coach we had is very friendly because she is always available to us, and she is of course a person because in this life we see that all around the globe there is a concept of online learning because there are modules we need to just go and watch some videos and all that. Mostly these concepts are going on in the market, right? But as a face-to-face coach, there are very limited persons in the world who are offering face-to-face and scenarios interactions. So one of the most important factor that we had is we can always reach to Sindhuja madam and she is available to us and always helpful for us to guide anytime. So right, this was very helpful because we need some person who can listen and solve our problems and first of all understand our problems because if we look into the online courses that are available because these are not human related courses, they are designed in a very technological way, so there is no relation expect there, no human, so that's very important. Yes, in a certain kind of way I also imparted this knowledge to my team. So ultimately communication level also increased to a good level, and of course there was aspect of respect. Now I also respect my team members, and they the moment they learned about these values and principles and personality types, they had a certain kind of also grown respect towards me. So this has brought a certain kind of transformation. Now they have become more human to me, and I also do more human to them as well, right? So earlier that was very much missing because they didn't know what the values I was following in my life, right? And what values are important for us. So, and later on, I also got their values as well. So now the whole values are sync. So that's why respect is there. So if respect is there, the human beings work, right, in a more good way, right? Without respect, no one will work. So that is, and they are also become more courageous because I being a supervisor of them, so always they were afraid, or maybe I was afraid to certain clients. So now courage is also building up because now I can stand to my values, being stick to it. Now I can stand to my principles. I can also always keep my principle in my brain and my heart. Always stick to it. And in many of my friend circles as well, colleagues as well, or clients as well, I would like to recommend because they will also get transformation in their current aspect of life and work. So, so it can be any client, it can be any my one of my friends, my colleagues, even my family members as well, relatives as well. So, any of them who likes to join, they can also go into this leadership program. So for 3 months they have to attend this and cover. Yes, I hope I have a full confidence that it will also transform them from being a manager to a leader.
So there is a button right here below this, and you can click on that and you can book your session with us today. Right. So I look forward to speaking to you, and or one of my team members will speak to you once you book the session. So you take good care of yourself, and we look forward to hearing from you.